The studio buzzed with excitement as the Today with Jenna and Friends cameras rolled live. The bright lights reflected off the glossy set as Jenna flashed her trademark smile. "Everyone, please welcome country superstar, Blake Shelton," she announced, and the audience erupted in applause. Blake stepped onto the stage, giving a quick wave. He looked relaxed, but his eyes hinted at something deeper, maybe fatigue, maybe irritation. Jenna leaned forward, trying to keep things light. "Blake, we've missed you around here. It's been a while since you joined us." Blake adjusted his hat and grinned. "Yeah, I've been keeping busy. You know me, can't sit still too long." The laughter felt warm, but there was a strange tension underneath. Even as the cameras zoomed in on their smiles, something about Blake's body language told a different story. The audience settled into a quiet hum as Jenna shuffled her cue cards, smiling brightly for the camera. "So, Blake," she began casually, "everyone's been talking about your time on The Voice. You surprised fans when you decided to step away. What really made you walk out?" Blake's grin faltered for a moment. He adjusted his mic and glanced toward the floor. "Well, sometimes you just know when it's time," he said, forcing a half smile. Jenna leaned forward, sensing a story. "But rumors say it wasn't exactly your choice. Some say there were disagreements with producers." Blake's hand tightened around his coffee cup. "Rumors," he repeated flatly. "You can't believe everything you read." The audience chuckled lightly, unsure whether to laugh or stay quiet. Jenna gave a nervous smile, trying to ease the tension. "Of course, but our viewers love the inside scoop, Blake. You've always been honest with your fans." Blake shifted in his seat, his jaw tightening. His eyes flicked toward the producer's booth, then back to Jenna. The warmth that had filled the room just minutes ago was slowly fading, replaced by a thick silence that even the cameras couldn't hide. The silence in the studio hung heavy, almost electric. Jenna laughed softly, trying to lift the mood. "Come on, Blake, don't get all serious on me now. You know our viewers just love when you tell it like it is." Blake looked at her, his expression tight but calm, too calm. "Tell it like it is," he said slowly, leaning back in his chair. "All right, maybe that's the problem. Every time I do, it turns into some big headline that has nothing to do with what I actually said." Jenna blinked, caught off guard. "We're just asking what fans are curious about." "Fans?" Blake interrupted, his tone sharpening. "You mean the same fans who think I stormed off The Voice because I couldn't handle change? Or because someone decided to twist my words on live TV?" The audience shifted uncomfortably. A few nervous laughs echoed from the back row. Jenna opened her mouth to respond, but Blake wasn't finished. His voice grew firmer, the charm gone. "I came here to talk about music, not drama. But it feels like that's all anyone wants anymore," he said, tapping the desk with his finger for emphasis. The cameras zoomed in slightly, catching the tension in his eyes. Crew members exchanged quick looks behind the glass wall of the control room. Jenna straightened in her seat, trying to stay composed, but the tension between them was no longer something she could hide. The studio lights felt hotter now. Every breath, every glance, carried weight, and it was clear something was about to break. The moment the cameras cut to a commercial break, chaos broke out behind the scenes. Producers hurried onto the set, whispering urgently into headsets. Blake had already pulled off his microphone, pacing back and forth near the stage lights. His voice, low but heated, carried across the quiet studio. "I told your team I wasn't gonna talk about The Voice," he said sharply. "You set me up out there, Jenna. That's not how I do interviews." Jenna rose from her chair slowly, still composed but clearly shaken. "Blake, no one set you up," she said carefully. "It was just a question, people are curious. You know how live TV works." Blake turned, his expression hard. "Curious. Or looking for drama. There's a difference, Jenna." The crew stayed frozen, unsure whether to intervene. A sound technician quietly unplugged cables while two producers tried to diffuse the growing tension. "Let's just all take a breath," one of them said softly. "We can smooth this over in post. No one wants bad press." Blake gave a dry laugh. "Bad press. Too late for that. It's already a headline." Jenna crossed her arms, her face pale under the studio lights. "You're being unfair, Blake. We've always supported you here." He looked at her for a long moment, hurt and frustration flickering behind his eyes, before shaking his head. Support doesn't feel like ambush, Jenna. Not to me. The entire set went quiet again. Only the faint hum of equipment filled the silence as everyone waited to see what Blake would do next. By the time Blake left the Today studio, the story had already started spreading. A few crew members, still shaken, whispered as he passed down the hallway. His boots echoed against the polished floor, steady, angry, and final. Outside, the cool morning air hit him hard. Cameras flashed from across the street as paparazzi called out his name. Blake. What happened inside? Did you and Jenna fight on camera? He didn't answer, just pulled his hat lower and climbed into the waiting SUV. Back inside the studio, Jenna sat quietly at her dressing table, staring at her reflection. Her assistant scrolled through her phone nervously. It's already trending, she said softly. Clips of the outburst are everywhere. Jenna exhaled slowly, trying to steady her voice. Of course they are, she murmured. That's all anyone wants now, the drama, not the truth. Meanwhile, Blake's phone buzzed nonstop in the car. Messages from his manager, friends, and even old co-stars flooded in. One text stood out, a short message from Gwen. You okay? Don't let them get to you. He stared at the screen for a moment, then tossed the phone aside. His jaw tightened. They always twist it, he muttered under his breath. Every single time. Outside, fans were already taking sides online, hashtags forming, videos being reposted, opinions flying faster than facts. The day wasn't even over yet, but the story was everywhere, and both Blake and Jenna knew there was no turning it back now.